Would you like to know how to make a best-selling car? There are many approaches you can take, but you might choose the weird guy with a weird mustache route. You just have to dominate a huge part of Europe and mass-produce a cheap and simple car. Easy bestseller, I might say. Easy. Oh, you want to know which car it is? Well, you'll need to wait and see.
Number 1?
The Toyota Corolla. Since 1966, this small family car has been loved by many people in nursing homes. Because I don't know if it's just me, but I only see old people driving Corollas. They probably bought it new and never needed to buy a new car. Yes, the Corolla is that reliable. And we know Toyota is known for that, but this car only survived for such a long time because of its reliability. In production for more than 54 years, the Corolla is the best-selling car of all time. With more than 32 million units sold over the years, yeah, you heard me right, 32 million. Number 2, the Ford F-Series. The Ford F-Series has been out since 1948 with North and South America as their biggest volume in sales. And growing in the Middle East and Asia, despite not having a large sale volume in Europe, the F-Series truck has sold more than 30 million units since the late 40s, the top 2 best-selling vehicle ever. Just please don't lift your already huge truck. Your size is okay. Don't overcompensate. Number 3, the Volkswagen Golf. The car of the people, the Golf produced by the German automotive manufacturer Volkswagen since 1974, marketed worldwide across 8 generations that sold more than 25 million units over the years. The success of this car started a car cult. In Europe, you have people that live and breathe VW Golf. Some love the R versions or the GTIs. Others love to tune their Golf TDIs and turn them into charcoal factories. Yes, diesel. Ew, they are definitely not caring about saving the polar bears. But I think they just don't have the money to buy the R version. And you know the best way to save some money? Start using Honey, the best browser extension that helps you save money. It helps save money on multiple websites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and many more. Use Honey's automatic coupon code adder and save money. Link in the description. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Love ya! Number 4, the Volkswagen Beetle. The only good thing to come from the dictator's mind. Yes, this was Adolf Hitler's idea. Thanks to Adolf Hitler, the Beetle was created. He wanted a cheap and simple car to be mass-produced for his country's new road network. Opposite of what you might think, you don't need to kill millions of people to make a great-selling car. And unfortunately, the VW Beetle ended its lifetime in 2003, and throughout those 65 years, Volkswagen sold more than 22 million units. Not too bad for a dictator. Number 5, the Ford Escort. Since 1968, this small family car was manufactured by European Ford. The Escort was so famous that it started as an OnlyFans. Get it? Oh, okay, that was cringy. I'm sorry. After the success in Europe, in 1981, Ford started to sell the Escort in North America as well. The Escort also had an RS Cosworth version based on the Group A, World Rally Championship car that competed between 1993 and 1998. Number 6, the Honda Civic. I'll try my best not to make jokes about the Civic. This Japanese economy car was released to the world in 1972. With the rising need for the smaller displacement and more efficient engines, the Civic was a huge success. Just like the Escort, the Civic also got a racy version. In 1997, named the Civic Type R, this small economy car got a huge performance boost and perfected handling. With this car being one of the best handling front-wheel drive cars ever, a cult car was started. Named the Rice Gang, it was composed of people who couldn't afford the Type R but wanted to make their base model Civic fast. So they started to rice out their Civics. For some, it was art. But for normal car people, it was just a bunch of Honda lawnmowers. I'm sorry, I had to do it. I'm sorry, okay. To the car's credit, over its lifetime, it has sold over 17 million units, and I can mock it all I want because they will keep selling anyway. Number 7, the Ford Model T. The oldest car on this list, the Model T was produced from 1908 to 1927. It was the first mass-produced and the first car to be accessible to the masses. And throughout the 19 years it was available, it sold over 16.5 million units. Number 8, the Honda Accord. The Accord was a car that actually derived from the Civic. Its wheel known for the 4-door sedan variant, and it was a compact car class from 1976 to 1989. and from 89 forward it moved up to the midsize car class. From the start of its production, it has sold over 15 million units. Thank God racers don't like this car. Number 9, the Volkswagen Passat. VW's third appearance on the top 10 list, Germans sure do know how to make a bestseller. Don't worry, this one had no input from Hitler. This large family car is one of the best-selling cars and wagons because it is quite affordable and has a great quality. On the road since 1973 and has been doing so for 8 model generations. From Dieselgate to hybrid options, it has sold around 14 million units. Number 10, the Chevrolet Impala. Loved by many, feared by most. What a slogan, don't you think? Well, loved by the people who own them because of its reliability and feared by most because it's a police car. And if you ever get 5 stars running from the police and you are in real life, I hope only a few come after you. Because if all Impalas were police cars, you could expect 14 million cars chasing you. Number 11, the Ford Fiesta. This car is so versatile that you can see a grandma driving it around, or you can take it grassroots rallying, and even more extreme, see it on Ken Block's Gymkhana 4. Yep, it's that type of car. Small form factor front wheel drive, perfect to sell for over 12 million units since 1976. Number 12, the Vauxhall Corsa. Depending on where you're from, you might know it as the Opel Corsa, but that's the only thing that changes, because this front-wheel drive economy car has become one of the top choices for kids who have just gotten their license. Basically, they're made to be crashed, while the 19-year-old driver is texting while driving. I hope not all 12 million get the same treatment, though. Number 13, the Oldsmobile Cutlass. Produced from 1961 to 1969 by General Motors, it was an Oldsmobile entry-level vehicle. Started off with its unibody compact car, but saw its greatest success with body-on-frame intermediate. Being affordable helped the Cutlass to sell just under 12 million units. Number 14, the Chrysler Voyager. Oh boy, the minivan. The soccer mom's vehicle of choice. Perfect for taking the kids and their stuff to the park, but you know who loves the minivan even more? Karens. With an easy and fast way to get out of the car, the Voyager is perfect to annoy everything and everyone. I just hope not all of the 11.7 million minivans sold are in Karen's possession. Otherwise, we're doomed.
Number 15.
The Toyota Camry. I'm willing to bet that you know someone who owns a Camry, despite this car being number 15 on the list. And I don't know how, but it's everywhere due to its success. It has lived since 1982. With multiple generations and facelifts, this car has sold over 10 million units. Number 16, the Mazda 323. In production from 1963 to 2003, it's the Mazda's best ever selling car. This small family car that sold just under 10.5 million units since 2003 when production ended. Replaced by the Mazda 3 and the Mazda Excella. Yes, Excella. Basically named by a dyslexic person who wanted to call out Alexa. Number 17, the Vauxhall Astra. The Astra, with multiple generations, this car has been in the market since 1991. With some of these generations being quite a fiasco, with some of their models having terrible reliability. They were still able to sell around 10 million units though. Not too bad for the top one choice for low-tier gangsters in Europe. Number 18, the BMW 3 Series. The legendary 3 Series. With the first ever 3 Series coming out in June 1975, this has been the foundation of the BMW. The racing heritage the 3 Series has probably helped a lot in selling almost 10 million units in total. Of course, these numbers are always rising because this masterpiece has cars for everybody, from the guy who just wants a base model diesel 3 Series to the car guy who can afford the BMW M3. Whether you own the base model or the M3, can I ask you a question? Why don't you use your blinkers? Number 19, the Fiat Uno. The car that was extremely successful, but somehow is extremely, ugly. I get that in 1983 people might have been into that, but as the years passed, the car became uglier and uglier. Don't know how more than 9 million units were sold. I mean, looks are subjective, but how? Number 20, the Renault Clio. Unfortunately, the Clio, just like the Corsa, is loved by new drivers, and we all know what that means. Despite that the Clio has been on the road since 1991 and still thrives as one of the best-selling cars with around 9 million units sold since its launch. Number 21. The Renault 5. The Renault 5 was extremely successful in Europe. Being produced from 1984 until 1996, this small hatchback was perfect for European streets. The small form factor and cheap to run, it was magnifique. But as one does, the Renault made a race version called the R5 Turbo with 160 horsepower. Not much for today's standards, but we're talking of a car that weighs as much as me after 3 burritos. That's about 970 kilograms. The Renault 5, over its lifespan, sold just under 9 million units.
Number 22.
The Ford Mustang. The most successful American muscle ever. The Mustang started its life in 1964 and predicted to sell only 100,000 units in its first year, but it actually quadrupled the prediction. 2 years after its launch, Ford sold the millionth Mustang, but in 1969, arguably the best Mustang was launched, the Ford Mustang Boss 429 with a 7-liter V8. This bad boy was a tire-shredding machine. In August 2018, Ford built its 10 millionth Mustang, and thankfully it honored the original car and came with a V8. Because if you ever buy the V6 EcoBoost, you are a disgrace to the world. Except the polar bears. They'll like you. Number 23, the Renault 4. The French brand made this car one of the best sellers. With production from 1961 until 1992, this small car sold just over 8 million units. Number 24, the Fiat Punto. This small economy car was offered in various styles and even a cabriolet version. Perfect style for the 90s. Starting production in 1993, the Punto was and is great success for Fiat, selling just under 7 million units. Number 25, the Ford Taurus. Introduced in 1985, the Ford Taurus is an E-Class vehicle and 6 versions were produced until 2019. This car is sometimes feared because it is also used by law enforcement, sometimes used as an undercover car. And over its 34 years in production, Ford sold under 7 million units. But don't worry, it's unlikely the Taurus that's following you is a cop car. Number 26, the Mini. The Mini, probably one of the oldest cars that is still in production, launched in 1959. This car has a long list of accomplishments, starting its lifetime and going into motorsport and winning the Monte Carlo Rally with the Mini Cooper S in 64, 65, and 67. In 65, it was able to win the European Rally Championship. This small car is in the Guinness World Records, and in 2012, 28 women were able to fit into the small car. Don't ask me how they were able to do that, but they may have been extremely flexible. This legendary car and brand was later bought by BMW, and until today it is still on sale. And over the years, it's sold around 7 million units. Number 27, the Vauxhall Vectra. Back when I was in high school, a friend of mine bought one, and boy, was it exciting and quick. Of course, we were used to very slow cars, and then he bought the Vectra, and it was super exciting. Until the engine seized. Yep, they were not very reliable. Despite that, over 6.5 million units were sold. Number 28, the Chevrolet Cavalier. In production from 1982 until 2005, the Cavalier was produced by General Motors and it sold over 6.2 million units.
Number 29,
the Peugeot 206. This small B-Class car was in production from 1998 until 2007, and it was a huge success in Europe and Latin America. Over its lifetime, it sold over 6 million units. Number 30, the Buick LeSabre. Manufactured by General Motors, the LeSabre was in production from 1959 until 2008. And having the most success in the United States, the 9 generations were quite successful, selling around 6 million units. Number 31, the Nissan Sunny. Starting its life with a shine, get it? The Sunny was launched in 1966 as a 2-door sedan, and along the 10 generations it changed a lot. The today's Sunny is a 4-door sedan. This economy car has sold around 6 million units and is still selling. Number 32, the Ford Explorer. This one is really feared by many. The question you ask yourself when you see an Explorer is, are you a cop? Because if you own a white Explorer, you see that every car around you reduces its speed. Please stop scaring people. Despite that, the Ford Explorer is a great utilitarian vehicle, and it has sold over 6 million units. Dora, Ford Explorer. Number 33, the Mitsubishi Galant. Launched in 1969, this Japanese car has sold just under 6 million units, and it was discontinued in 2012. Number 34. The Ford Focus. Just like the Fiesta, this is extremely versatile, and you could see it on rally stages with the RS version or Ken Block's Gymkhana. The Focus started its lifetime in 1998, and it is still in production and keeps climbing to more than 5.5 million units sold. Number 35. The Ford Crown Victoria. Just another police car. Yeah, keep buying police cars and keep scaring everyone on your way to work. You know what? Just slam it and use it as a drift car. Thankfully, it was discontinued in 2012, but throughout its 20 years in production, it sold over 5 million units.
Number 36.
The Toyota Land Cruiser. Probably the most reliable car on this list. And launching in 1953, it is normal to have sold over 5 million units. The thing is that the number will only go up because the car is still in production. Number 37. The Peugeot 205. One more legendary master rally car from the French brand. Most people bought it for the reliability and the form factor, but I would buy it for the rally heritage. No matter why people bought it, it sold over 5 million units from 1983 until 1998. Number 38. The Ford E-Series. Oh, hello, Georgie. You want to buy some candy? Yep, the Creeps van. Ford has been selling the perfect van for malicious people since 1961, and they still are. They've sold around 5 million units, but let's just hope that not many of those are being used with malicious intent. Number 39, the Ford Ranger. Launching in 1983, the Ranger has won the hearts of many truck lovers, including mine when I saw what the Raptor could do. Oh boy, I wish I had one of those. This great machine has sold around 5 million units over the years. Number 40, the Chevrolet Camaro. This legendary car was launched in 1967 and was a great success compared to other sports cars. You could daily drive it or you could take it to the drag strip. And despite it having a drinking problem, the Camaro has sold around 4.8 million units over the years. And if you're like me and like cars with a drinking problem, you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You'll be sure to find other videos about cars that need an AA meeting. And with that said, thanks for watching and I'll see ya.